pretty good bump. I haven't done the ramp yet, so let's see how we do. Working on the center line. Ta-da! Hello and welcome to, well, Carlin's Worlds. Yeah, that should work. I'm a wanderer, a tinkerer, sometimes a nomad, a military veteran. I do things differently. There will be tinkering. I have a motorcycle, a truck, and a school bus. I live off-grid, so there will be some solar, batteries, inverters, and maybe even some wind. It blows. And that's all I can fit into about 30 seconds. Oh, and please, if you like any of this, it would be really awesome if you could subscribe and click that notify bell. Drop a comment if you have any questions or ideas. Share, like, comment, subscribe, notify. Oh, and Patreon if you're really an awesome kind of person. Cool. On with the show already. When I'm working on the motorcycle, the ground isn't very level. If I try to set it up on any kind of a work stand, it always tries to tip over. I've been jacking it with a floor jack. That works fairly well, but you still need to support the front wheel. Okay, first thing I'm doing is getting my saw set up. This is actually a metal cutting chop saw, so I feel just a little bit dirty about using this for wood. But it is a chop saw and I've got it, so why not use it? When I'm making this work platform for the motorcycle, it's basically a sidewalk, and I figured out that my studs I bought 96-inch studs, full 8 feet. And I can divide that in 32-inch segments and get 3 evenly cut boards out of each stud. And I think if I did the math right, I'm going to need about 19 of those to do the surface that I want to do. I'm going to make it exactly 8 feet long because that's how long the studs are. I love my setup here because the generator's on the other side. I almost don't even hear it running over here, which is nice. All right, let's commence making sawdust. That should be all the pieces we need. Way out. And turn in. Up my side stand. We're in. There, now it's going to feel like it's straight to the bus. Okay, we're getting pretty close now. Now that I'm finished digging, I'll put my sweatshirt back on because it's going to cool off with the wind. I'm going to pre-drill a couple holes here for where the screws are going to go, same as what I did on that block. And this just gives me a quick reference of how big that board is going to be. This way I can drop screws through here because I'm running, these are the 3-inch screws. And they will have about 1.5 inches of dig into the other board still, so that'll be plenty of grip. I don't really need the screw to grip this board, I need it to grip the board behind it, so it takes a lot of force to run a screw all the way through the wood, and it's very likely to split this. So by pre-drilling it, it should go easier on the wood and not break it up so bad. That's good enough. A little bit of a bow here, so we should be able to pull that out. there's a nice side, I'll leave it up. But I think for a spacer, I just put one board in between. That looks pretty good though, huh? I think we'll put screws in that now. So I'm going to chop one more board. And as far as getting the bike on it, all I got to do is lay dirt down here to ramp it up and we'll be set. I'm not going to make a ramp because it's low enough. We'll be okay there. Got a blob of glue on each one. One screw at a time, that way it doesn't get bumped after we get the first one started. Once we got this end one in place, it ain't gonna move anymore. And we get a solid straight. It did move. Just saw my second flaw. By being careful about alignment, I'm probably going to hit that other screw. How about that? Pretty sure I hit the other screw. Alright, so this one we're going to go off center. On the end we can do that. That won't be a problem actually. If you're putting your screws evenly spaced and then you got another one below it, you'll end up hitting it. And the middle ones, I'm just going to do a single screw, I think. Little guy is just working his butt off. Whatever that is, I think it's a seed pod. Sometimes you'll see two of them work it together. You know, he's got to look around for a better way. Pick it up and try again. It's got to weigh almost as much as he does. More likely she, but you get the idea. And I made the mistake of helping one of them and messed him up more than anything, so. Alright, back to work. And so I'm going to spot check this one before I drill a whole bunch more the same way. Yeah, that's fine. If you have the crooked one and you keep duplicating the mistake, you get to the end and you're still crooked. So I just figured it made sense to check that. Touch of glue. Check the board, find a pretty side. That one's not, so we'll flip it over. None of my bits are very good. Kind of lock it down. I'm going to get one more hole on the side, then I can move my spacer board out of the way. I will be really sad if I run out of screws. It just occurred to me. Like that. Move ahead one, lather, rinse, repeat. Oh, stretch. Oh, we're half done already. That's great. I'm looking to see if I got a really bad one or a really good one. I think I got an extra board now, so I cut an extra one. It wasn't like a mystery or something. So the one on the end is the one you see. Let's try it with the drill this time. Let's make that the end one. Let's use that one for the end. Put it that way. Now we got to remember our trick with the offset screws on the end because of the other screw. So, in this one I'm not going to use the spacer. I'm going to line it up with the end. Nice and flat on the end on this one because it'll show. Curious. Nope, we're off by about 1/4 of an inch. I can live with that. But that's why I didn't space the last one because I knew I was going to be off by a little bit. Feels pretty good. Pretty good bump. I haven't done the ramp yet. So let's see how we do. No problem. Working on center line. Ta-da! This front wheel chock that I built is made out of old seat parts from the bus, and it is literally one giant tetanus shot waiting to happen. So I usually wear gloves when I pick it up. Just a good idea. Oh, look at that, I like it. Just enough so it doesn't move, right? You know it's a real school bus where these parts came from? Because it's got bubble gum on everything. Okay, so we'll do one hole there, and I think one here. That should be enough. Next, so this doesn't come off, flat washer, put a lock washer on this one. I got these on eBay, these bolts, and they had so much zinc plating on them that it's actually hard to get a nut on them, some of them. So there may be some mucking around here. So these are carriage bolts, and they were actually made for using on horse and carriages. The outer side is smooth, so that's what you would see when it's in, and it's got a square piece on the bottom. And the idea is you drill a hole, pull this in, and then when you tighten it from the outside, this square part jams in, and it typically holds pretty still. All right. So what I've done, I kind of dug the ground out underneath where this bolt is going to go so I can push it up and in. Yeah, I got it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold it up there with one finger, now that I've lost all my hardware. Dang it. Alright, putting a flat washer on. So I've got lots of surface area. And my box of lock washers where I'm sure to knock it over. Now I mentioned earlier these carriage bolts that I bought, I picked them up on eBay, and they probably sold them on eBay because they were defective, because about 3/4 of them have got so much zinc plating you honestly cannot get the nut on them. So I'm going to just tighten it down, and you'll hear it crunching its way in probably. Maybe not this one. Yeah, you really can't hear this one. Go figure. The other one made a lot of noise. All right. There, that one crunched a little bit. Okay, so that's in there pretty solid. My plan is from now on, this will stay where it is, and I'll have another set of nuts on top of the wheel chock that holds everything in place, but these will stay put. So with any luck, that'll lock itself in well enough that I don't have to mess with it anymore. All right. So that's carriage bolts. Hopefully these bolts are more or less straight up. Wow, most of them hit. That's remarkably good. This one's off. Huh, 5 out of 6. Since I know that one was off a little bit, we're just going to bend it just a little bit. That'll make it better. I'll try again. There we go. 6 for 6. Smaller fat washers, flat washers, not fat washers. And then lock washers, and then the nuts. One of the reasons for using the flat washers is to cover up that hole that got oversized. I want to get tension on here, but I got to be careful not to over tighten it because I don't want that bolt to start spinning. Because I do not want to spin the bolt. So this way I can see if the bolt is actually going to spin. You want to snug it up, but you don't need to kill it. Let's see how we do. Alright, just kind of push it in. Oh, that is 100 times better. That is awesome, because now the front wheel holds in place, and as long as it's just like parking your bike at school, you know, your bicycle, you'd roll it in, drop the front wheel into those little holders, and you'd be done. You know, you wouldn't think about it. You'd just stand there happy as can be. But yeah, it's freaking solid, and you got the weight of the bike holding the platform down, and so that just comes around and everything kind of ties together. So if we just roll the bike back, you got to pull it pretty hard to come over that one bottom piece, and then it drops down. Also, my front tire is about flat, so you may see that. But you roll it in, it jumps up and then drops down again. I've seen guys do a strap front to back across the top of the tire, because if you can hold the tire in place, the rest of the bike rotates around the axle, which is very useful. Or I could run a strap from down here over the top and back down, and again the same thing. If the front wheel is locked in position, it's not going to move. On the KLR, what a lot of people are doing, if you just need a simple point to jack from, look for the bottom, the lowest point on the suspension linkage. The bike lifts pretty good from there. So I picked up a couple of these scissor lifts, or scissor jacks, whatever. eBay, like 15 bucks or something like that. I'm going to weld a handle on that I can do it by hand easier. Because you kind of want to have one hand on the bike just in case it goes squirrely on you. But with the bike holding up straight like it's supposed to, this should work well. I'm kind of keeping an eye to see if it wants to take off on me. It's rocking, but it's not going very far. Oh, I see. Yeah, the jack is tilting. So it's actually lifting the whole bike up is one of the problems. Okay. Back down then. And then you lose the bike. Yeah. Alright, let's tweak this a little bit project same day or day after I built the front wheel holder. I made this little platform, which is way too low apparently. But the idea would be you could put a couple blocks of wood to where your frame actually was and then let the bike back down and set it on here. This is a lot more solid than this. So we could play with that. I'm going to say that's it for now though. The platform is done and I'm very happy with it. It feels really solid. It solves one of the biggest problems I have out here is I don't have a level, flat, firm surface to work on the bike. Now I do. Now I can go forward from that, and then basically I'm looking at it, couldn't I, build accessories that'll bolt onto this thing. Cool. Thanks for watching. Well, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, that should work. Cool. I do things differently. Oh, and please, if you like any of this, it would be really awesome if you could subscribe and click that notify bell. Drop a comment if you have any questions or ideas. Share, like, comment, subscribe, notify. Oh, and Patreon if you're really an awesome kind of person. Thank you so much for watching.